All right, thank you all for being here at our Commissioner's Court today. As we begin, is there someone who would come forward and open our time together with our invocation? Somebody would volunteer to do that for us, please.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. If you would, please. Let's all stand together. Anthony, would you lead us in the pledges as well, please? I'll lead us in the pledges.
Lord, we just come to you this morning. Thank you for this beautiful day, Lord. We ask that you be in the minds of all people on decisions that have to be made here today, Lord. We just give all thanks to you for everything that we have and everything that we endure. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen.
Thank you. To the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. You may be seated. Let the record reflect that all are present here today. Do I have a motion to approve our court agenda today?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, at this time, item number 7.
You recognize Will. Recognize Will. Recognize Will Metcalf.
At this time, as we move forward in our agenda, we have our citizens' comments. But as we do that, the first thing I'd like to do is recognize Representative Will Metcalf is with us. Stand up, Will, so everybody can see you. A round of applause. Thank you. So glad you're here. Welcome. For our citizens, at this time, we give our opportunity for our citizens to make comments about items that are either on the open agenda or the consent agenda. We ask that if you're going to make a comment that you would come forward, state your name for the record, the item that you'd like to speak on, and if you would limit your time to 3 minutes. Be courteous of others as well if there are more. As Commissioner Wheeler is going to time this for us. If you have something that you want to hand to each of us, please ask permission before you approach the bench. Is there anyone here who would like to make any citizens' comments? Yes, ma'am. Welcome.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Teresa Kenny. I'm here to speak on Agenda Item 13A. I cannot ignore the troubling lawsuit recently filed by Rhea Young against this very court. The allegations outlined in that suit describe a concerted effort to silence diverse voices within our community, including LGBTQ voices and any perspectives that do not align with the personal beliefs of this court. If true, these accusations strike at the very heart of public trust. A public library system is not the private property of elected officials. It belongs to all of us, every resident of Montgomery County. It is meant to be a place where all voices, all stories, and all perspectives can be heard and respected, not silenced or erased. The library system is not your pulpit, and censorship is not leadership. Silencing voices should never be acceptable in our community. Our democracy is stronger when it embraces differences, not when it stifles them. I ask this court to commit to transparency in its dealings with the public library system and to reaffirm that it serves all of the people of Montgomery County, not just a narrow few. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. We appreciate that so much. Is there anyone else who would like to come forward and make comments? Yes, ma'am, if you would, please.
My name is Dee Dee Fox, and I'm here speaking today about Agenda Item 13A. You were elected to represent every citizen in Montgomery County, regardless of gender identification, religion, or ideology. So I hope that you'll hear me today. I've lived in Montgomery County since 1982, and when I took my children and grandchildren to the public library, they selected books under my guidance. That's how public libraries work and why so many homeschoolers use the public libraries. There is never any need for a separated parent section in the public library because the parents are present. The parent section in the new Brady Library is at the opposite end of the building on a top shelf. So it's an effective way of actually banning books. Your job is to fund the library, not to police the library. And since almost every book that I've checked out, I'm a heavy library user, every book I've checked out in the last couple of years is stamped Harris County Library, we're not doing a very good job of that. How long do we have before Harris County tires of this one-sided arrangement? There's a critical need for books right now because the new Bluebonnet curriculum in CISD does not use books. They're all worksheets. My grandsons have dyslexia, and so it's hard for them to read. And yet they still have certain books that they absolutely love, whereas worksheets are scattered to the four winds. So I think the role of the public library is extremely important right now. Now the county is embroiled in this lawsuit initiated by the former library director, who never should have been fired in the first place. So rather than paying for books, my tax dollars are being spent paying lawyers. And there's a very good chance, having read part of that lawsuit, that the county is going to lose. Also troubling is that so many women have been fired by this court. I'm considering filing a freedom of information request to determine their names and wonder about if any men were fired during the same time period. Silencing voices in our community should never be acceptable. Our democracy is stronger when it embraces differences, not when it stifles them. I ask this court to commit to transparency in its dealings with the public library system and to reaffirm that it serves all the people of Montgomery County, not just a narrow few. Thank you.
Thank you, Dee Dee. Appreciate that so much. Is there anyone else who is here today? Yes, sir. If you'd like to, we have an individual over here, and then you'll be next. Okay.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. My name is Arthur Bredehoff. I'm here this morning as the chair of the Library Advisory Board to express support. I'm here for item G for commissioners, item 1, precinct 3, Commissioner Wheeler, and item B, it's under B. I'm here to, first of all, thank Commissioner Wheeler for his reappointment of Christine Mayer, who has served on the Library Advisory Board since October 2021 and has successfully served. I'm here to ask for the support of the court. Although this is on the consent agenda, it still has to be approved. Right. So that's my purpose here today. I'd also like to thank the court for all the support the court has provided for the library system. Without the support of this court, the library system cannot continue to be relevant, cannot continue to grow, and be an asset that organizations look at when they want to decide to come to Montgomery County. So again, thank you for your support, and we appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate it so much, Arthur. All right, yes, you had a comment, if you would, please.
My name's Hunter Marlowe, and I'd like to comment on 13A.
Okay.
Good morning, people of the court. My name's Hunter. I'm a 27-year-old local who's lived in Montgomery County for most of my life. I come to you today due to a matter of deep concern, that matter being one of state censorship of diverse voices available to the public. And it pains me to hear that this court has appointed officials with their own political motivations to a position of state censorship targeting LGBTQ and BIPOC communities and promoting the revising of the country's history so as to promote this American exceptionalist fantasy in opposition to an accurate telling of America's history. To educate our own children of our country's real history would be too much for some people. It would destroy the very fabric of their ideology. But I'm not interested in indoctrinating people into an ideology. I'm interested in giving people the tools to parse information in a way that unveils truth, in blessing them with media literacy, because God knows they won't find it in our media environment. Many would say that in regards to boot making, you should refer to the boot maker. What I have learned time and time again is politicians make poor tradesmen, politicians make poor educators. they make poor doctors. And I'm willing to bet, based on the other three, they make poor librarians as well. We cannot structure idealist fantasies into our education. We must give our children the tools to engage with ideas and different concepts on their own. I implore you to remember, in Nazi Germany, the first books they removed were those regarding transmedical science. Likewise, they strive to imbue an exceptionalist fantasy into their nation's education system. This resembles many of the censorship programs that we've seen implemented across the country, and I would not like to see it implemented here in my home where it affects my family. I will rail against the courts if I have to. I will rail against Conroe City government if I have to. Protecting access to diverse voices is fundamental to developing a society that is capable of thinking for itself. For this reason, I'm asking that in this reconsideration committee, you keep the bootmakers in the position of bootmaking and keep the politicians out of the process. I also implore you to keep concrete criteria as a reason for removing a book. Much more, I implore you to keep the requirement that an individual filing a complaint is actually a Montgomery County resident and not, in fact, someone from Austin or, much worse, the cesspit itself, Washington. If anyone would like to discuss these ideas further, please feel free to meet with me afterwards. All power to the people.
Thank you, Hunter. We appreciate your comments. Is there anyone else who'd like to come forward and share? Yes, ma'am. Please come forward.
Hello, my name is Carrie Mazowski. This is my first time speaking at Commissioner's Court, and I'm a little nervous, but I would like to speak, please, on Agenda Item 13A, Rhea Young versus Montgomery County and the Commissioner's Court of Montgomery County. I don't have a compelling speech written, but I would like to read an excerpt, please, from a June 2023 article in the Houston Landing. Rhea Young, the Montgomery County Library Systems Director at the time, said her organization has a responsibility to carry materials on the various sides of controversial questions. At the same time, Young considers circulating books because of widespread or local demand from residents of the deeply conservative region. This is a quote from Rhea Young, when I made the decision to include the donation of Brave Books, which is a conservative Christian line of books, to our collection, I did so based on this part of our policy, Young wrote in an email. Montgomery County District Attorney Brett Ligon, offered to donate the money needed to place the Brave books in circulation. Ligon, County Attorney B.D. Griffin, and County Judge Mark Keogh, who presides over Commissioner's Court, ultimately split the $1,200 cost of placing 140 Brave book titles in the library, and Young approved the donation. Montgomery County residents can check out copies of Brave books in all 7 library branches. In an email, Young wrote that the county library system has always had Christian children's books in circulation. She cited the materials selection policy for why she approved Knuckles' request. That person was a mom who appealed to the Commissioner's Court previously to get more Christian books put into the library system here. There's one final quote by Rhea Young in this article. She says, "We do not believe in book banning, and we understand that all people want to see themselves represented in books," she wrote. "We believe that parents have the right to decide what their child reads." Knowing that there was a donation made in the amount of $1,200 to the library system to put in over 100 copies of Brave books, the conservative Christian books, into our library system, where Christian books already exist. Finding that out after I had gone to the new library, the Kevin Brady Library, yes. And I found this book. It's called My Life with Deafness. And this book was located in the parenting section, away from the children's section of the library, 5 or 6 feet in the air where it is not possible for my kids to.
3 minutes is up.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you coming forward and
Thank you
sharing
very
with
much.
us. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, as we move forward, is there anyone else? Yes, ma'am. If you would come forward, please.
Good morning, County Commissioner. I'm also a first-time speaker. I appreciate y'all listening. I'm here to address item 13A on the agenda. My name is Kirsten Emery, and I'm a citizen concerned about the court, document going around right now about Rhea Young's termination and how it ties into the overall trend that seems to be happening in book banning and censorship. I believe that children deserve access to books that make them feel both seen and books that challenge their worldview. I think books with these qualities can encourage them to both advance their literacy and their critical thinking skills. But instead, I feel that county leadership has done things that have aided the censorship of books that can foster a children's development. And I was shocked to learn about the lack of transparency in certain book review processes that happen, the inadequate community representation within the former Reconsideration Committee, and the appointment of a partisan politician to library director in the place of Rhea Young, who I believe had over 20 years of library experience, from my knowledge. And what is most alarming, the specific targeting of books that uplift the voices of LGBTQ+ and BIPOC communities. And to me, it seems it's becoming clear that this almost seems nothing to do with protecting children anymore at this point. And it seems in line with, this attempt to censor books that represent these oppressed communities. It's a part of this larger scheme and trend that's going on across the country right now, which is the rollback of rights that have been won by progressive movements over the last 50+ years in this country. And I, for one, would like to say that I won't stand idly by as books are being banned and our rights are being eroded, or the way I feel about that. And I have heard that many of the community members are beginning to feel the same way. And I think that we're ready to stand up and organize and fight back if that's what it takes. So my request to you all, county commissioners, is this. Please don't be complicit in this trend across the country. Please stop putting the agendas of the few over the needs of the many. Protect access to diverse books, diverse voices, and ensure that every child has the freedom to grow, to learn, to be understood, and to read. Thank you for your time.
Appreciate you coming forward. Thank you so much. Appreciate your comments. Is there anyone else who'd like to come forward and make any comments? All right, thank you all. There being none, then let's move forward on our agenda today to proclamations, resolutions, and presentations. And I'm going to ask Jana, if you would please come forward, our librarian, as we're on the topic of the library. Consider and approve a proclamation recognizing September 2025 as Library Card Sign-Up Month in Montgomery County. And you have some people here that are with you as well? You have some of your people as well?
Yes.
Yeah. And Jen has asked me if I would read this resolution. Whereas September is National Library Card Sign-Up Month, a time when Montgomery County Memorial Library System libraries and libraries across the country remind everyone that a library card opens doors to endless possibilities and lifelong learning with access to information, technology, and community connections. Whereas Library Card Sign-Up Month began in 1987 and is celebrated at the beginning of the school year to encourage every child, teen, and adult to have their own library card to access educational and entertaining library resources and programs to help them succeed. Whereas MCMLS libraries serve as community hubs, welcoming and connecting all people to learn, imagine, discover, and grow through interactive programming, digital tools, and collections. Whereas MCMLS welcomes the community over 650,000 visitors yearly to 7 local branch libraries, a genealogy and a preservation center, a law library, and library website access 24/7. Whereas more than 170 MCMLS staff work as a team to strengthen and support a growing Montgomery County community with a population now of more than 750,000 people by providing innovative resources, services, and special events for all ages. whereas MCMLS circulates a collection of 2.1 million items, including books, movies, ebooks, and audiobooks, accessible in person and digitally, whereas MCMLS provides over 3,000 free programs annually for all ages, including story times, early literacy workshop exhibits, book clubs, writing groups, community fairs, arts and crafts, games, cultural programs, and annual summer reading program. And wait, there's more. Here it is, and more, whereas libraries contribute to a thriving local economies by equipping job seekers, entrepreneurs, and students with tools and training to succeed, whereas MCMLS develops meaningful partnerships with nonprofits, businesses, and local governments, including the county judge and commissioners, local officials, friends of the library groups, with the shared goal of serving the people of Montgomery County to provide education and opportunities. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Judge Mark Keogh, do hereby proclaim September 25th as Library Card Sign-Up Month in Montgomery County, Texas, and encourage all residents to sign up for an MCMLS library card and explore the endless possibilities it offers, proclaimed this 9th day of September 2025. Do I have a motion to approve?
Move.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all for being here today and appreciate all that you're doing, and especially, and make a special note of how Commissioner Wheeler picked up the ball on the library down in the Woodlands area, and we have 2 wonderful events down there. We'll continue to have those. And for our new librarian, Dr. Hoagland, thank you so much for being here with your people. And please say a few words concerning this.
Thank you so much, Judge. It's really hard to add anything to what you already said. It seems you know very well about what's going on in the library, and we appreciate that. Thank you to this Commissioner Court, Judge, Commissioners, for support that you're expressing to the public library. Really appreciate it. It's wonderful. I mean, you just spoke about the library card, National Library Card Sign-Up Month, and this is a very important month in the library world. Because sometimes you will think that library is just a little card, but actually it's not. Library card, it's the access to collaboration, innovation, information, creativity, all wonderful things that are happening in the library. We just, as you know, earlier this week, last week, we opened a brand new library, Kevin Brady Library, and you wouldn't believe more than 1,000 people came through the first hour then after we opened the library. The trend is amazing about how Montgomery County libraries are being used by our library visitors. I reported to you just recently, our summer reading program showed amazing results. We welcomed 50% more people compared to the summer of 2024. So we are really excited about the new time for the library. And we are so excited about the brand new services that people are asking us to bring them to the Montgomery County, and that's something that we will start at the Kevin Brady Library, our innovation center, our maker space, and we finally will be offering this to our people. We're very excited about it, and we're looking forward, and thank you so much for your support. I'm here with Arthur. He's our president of our advisory board. Jacob Martinez, he's a director on our advisory board as well. And Robin Reyes, she's my assistant, the manager of administrative services. And we are thankful on behalf of the library system. Thank you so much for your support and express support.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Don't go away.
We are not leaving until we have a picture with you.
There you go. Okay.
I got my library card the other day, and I hadn't had one since the 60s now when I was a kid. So all of y'all need to get your library cards.
That's awesome.
I'm sure you all have, and you might need to just renew them, and we definitely can easily. And I just would like to also thank Commissioner Walker. He just recently visited us, and he recorded a nice video promoting the library service, and he spoke about everything that we have to offer. I even asked Commissioner earlier today, are you sure you don't want to be an acting career? So, but yes, if you haven't watched this video, please watch because it really promotes what we offer. And then also, if you if you don't follow us on our social media, we're very active on social media. Please do so. We have Facebook accounts and we have and also Instagram accounts.
Yeah,
Well,
after
thank you so
seeing
much.
Commissioner Walker's video, I'm thinking, man, he needs to come down to the animal shelter and let's do some dogs and cats, buddy. All right.
I'm too tender-hearted for that, those animals. Yeah.
If you would, I'm going to come down here and hand this to you, and if
Thank
the
you,
commissioners would be here and kind of stand behind you
Yep.
guys, we'll take a picture that way. Does that work for y'all? Okay, let's do that.
Good deal. I want to say something since Will Metcalf is in the room. He told me a few years ago about his kids in the library. There was talk going around about shutting them down. Will came to me at a function, I don't remember where we were at, and he said, Robert, he said, he's not a big reader, but he said he takes his girls to the library every week, and they read those books to them. He said, so you make sure that Commissioner's Court keeps the library system up and running. So I just couldn't stand it because I was having to look at you. I just wanted to. So when Will tells you something like that, you better listen.
All right. Let's move on to item 8B, the proclamation for U.S. Army Specialist Joey Lentz Memorial Day.
Yes, this is a very touching story, and I'm just gonna read the proclamation. On Tuesday, February the 1st, 2022, U.S. Army Specialist Joey Lentz tragically passed away in his sleep while serving at Fort Hood Army Base in Killeen, Texas. His untimely passing was caused by a heart attack at the early age of 32. Joey Martins Lentz was born in Baytown, Texas, to Margie and Ted Lentz, and was the youngest of 3 sons. He graduated from Willis High School in 2008 and enlisted in the Army September 18, 2017. Specialist Lentz was deployed to the Republic of Korea in 2019 and served as a tactical power generator specialist. He distinguished himself by demonstrating professionalism, dedication, and excellence in his field of expertise. During his rotation in South Korea, he was awarded the National Defense Service Medal, Korea Defense Service Medal, Army Service Ribbon, the Overseas Service Ribbon, and an honorary award for exceptionally meritorious service. On November the 1st, 2024, House Resolution 1014 was introduced by Congressman Morgan Luttrell, named in honor of Specialist Lentz, and was reintroduced as the Specialist Joey Lentz Act of 2025, which will mandate a more comprehensive health evaluation to individuals serving in every branch of the U.S. military. In May of this year, 2025, House Bill 2143 was introduced by Representative Will Metcalf, which will designate a portion of FM 1097 in Montgomery County from I-45 to Lake Conroe Hills as Army Specialist Joey Lentz Memorial Highway, effective September the 1st, 2025. And Specialist Joey Lentz was Specialist Joey Lentz was an exemplary soldier, a loving son, and caring young man who was known for his humor and love for animals. He will forever hold a treasured place in the hearts of those he left behind. And now, therefore, be it resolved, the Commissioners Court of Montgomery County do hereby proclaim Tuesday, September the 9th, 2025 as U.S. Army Specialist Joey Lentz Memorial Day in Montgomery County, Texas. And so we're really proud of this. Margie, it took a lot of hard work, and I know Will, and Congressman Luttrell. So I'm very excited for y'all. So I'm going to bring this resolution down and let's have the pictures taken. This is Joey.
Come up too.
Sure.
Kid, man.
I want to go up there? Yeah.
Yeah, let's do here.
What's up? Hey, what's going on?
Behind the camera.
Here, I'll get you in there. All right, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You want me? Go get up there. Yours closed. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Hey.
This is a great honor and respect, and I appreciate all of you so much. Congressman Morgan Luttrell has the House Bill 1014, and if you know anything about getting into the Department of Defense, it's not an easy thing to do. This is my second go-round. If I need to be up there 3 and 4 times, they will be so sick of me, they'll pass the thing. It's a comprehensive blood panel also is in there that I insisted on, and it's for every branch of the military in my son's honor. Because in a letter I found that Joey wrote, he said, it's so important to have a strong soldier so you can have a strong army. And when we say army, we mean for every branch of the military. When we say soldier, we mean every person who stands up to take the oath for our country. God bless Texas. God bless the United States of America.
Thank you, Margie.
Thank you, Margie.
All right. Thank you, Margie. We appreciate that so much. Let's move forward to item 8C. Excuse me. Presentation by the North Houston Association regarding their 2025 strategic mobility priorities.
We need to make a motion on that.
Let's do a motion. Let's memorialize it.
Yeah.
We have a motion to. Do you make the motion?
Yes, I'll make the motion.
So we have a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right. Take it away.
Well, good morning, Judge and Commissioners. My name is Marlisa Briggs, President of the North Houston Association. First of all, thank you for letting us have just a few minutes this morning to present to you the outcome of our strategic mobility priorities. With me today, though, we've got several folks. We've got our chair of the board, Kim Sock-Lavin, and we've also got 2 other board members out there, John Dean and Todd Stevens is right back there. And a whole lot of other members happen to be in the audience today. And so we are well represented. I also have with me the co-chair of this project, and that is Hunter Brennan right there with Civitas. So now that all the introductions are made, I will tell you a little bit about the North Houston Association. So we were created in 1982 by a group of developers, and the goal was to advocate for regional infrastructure matters. Our service area is about 1,800 square miles, and as you can see by the map, the largest part of our area is Montgomery County, as well as North Harris County, and a little piece of Waller County. We have been producing our strategic mobility priorities since 1984, so almost since the beginning, and we typically do this, a new edition, every 3 years. The purpose of the document is to identify our top mobility priorities so that we can then advocate for those. Now, when I talk about the projects, there are two things that these projects either need our funding and or political support. So typically you won't find something on our map, on our list, if it is pretty much a done deal. We save the spots for those projects that really need our assistance. So I'm going to now hand it off to Hunter Brennan, and he is going to describe the process.
Thank you, Marlissa. Good morning, Judge and Commissioners.
Hunter.
Morning.
So we began our process with subcommittee meetings. As Marlissa said, several of them are actually coincidentally in the room today. It wasn't quite a contentious bunch, but we did have to iron out criteria and scoring for the projects so that we could then move on to our next phase of that process. So the next phase was then getting into meeting with 25 plus agencies throughout our service area. We met with each of you and your staffs, as well as others within the service area, Waller County and Harris County, as well as cities, economic development corporations, and developers as well. We tried to do as many of these meetings in person as possible. We got great results from having those meetings in person. You can see here some of those meetings that took place throughout the last year. And from those meetings, over 90 projects were identified, which is a lot for our region. I'll then now pass it over to Kim, who will describe how those projects were ranked.
So yes, as Hunter said, we've identified over 90 projects, which definitely identifies the need throughout the North Houston region. But realistically, 90 projects are not something we can advocate for effectively. So we developed a scoring system. We got a bunch of engineers and planners working on this job. So we have a scoring system based kind of partially on previous versions of the SMP and discussions with our subcommittee about the current environment and what's really important in the region. The criteria and the weights you can see there are the scoring system that we evaluated all of these 90 projects. We didn't have a set number that we wanted to come through. We knew 90 was too many. We didn't have a set number. But what typically happens in a process like this, there's a pretty even dividing line that comes up when you look at that. So as a result of this evaluation, we identified 22 projects within the region that we were going to advocate for in the coming years. This map shows you those priority projects. Although we didn't have a criteria of a geographical representation, you see they came out pretty well. They're geographically spread out across the region. You also may note that these projects are not identified by a number. We didn't want to artificially say this was the top priority, this is the lower priority, so we use a lettering system to identify those projects. And these are in the gamut of some are partially funded, some don't even have a sponsor. So we'll talk about a little bit of who these sponsors are and what the status of these are. There were 3 projects that are sponsored by cities. They're listed here. And in Montgomery County, Project L, O'Connor Road Extension is the Montgomery County project. There are 7 projects that are led by counties. And here we have 4 that are in the Montgomery County area. The FM 1488 Magnolia Relief Route, the David Memorial Drive Extension North, the 249 Tollway widening, and then Old Houston Road widening. There are 4 Hector projects. Now, none of these are actually in the boundaries of Montgomery County, but they certainly impact the flow of mobility in and out of the county, the 4 Hector projects there. There were 7 TxDOT projects. And again, in Montgomery County, there's the FM 1097, the Loop 336 widening, and then the FM 1314. And additionally, as I said, there's one that doesn't even have a sponsor. It happens to be in Montgomery County as well, but the frontage road's on I-45 near FM 830. We had a very short presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. We did provide a copy of the document to each of you here at your chairs and some others. Marlisa has additional copies if anyone is interested or if you have any questions about this process. Again, we're available to be a resource to you guys to help advocate for these and move them forward, and we look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks.
Appreciate it very, very much. And I've asked Jason Mills, or Smith, who is also working with you guys, Marlisa, Kim, and on these various topics as well. Thank you, Jason. All right, let's go ahead and move forward. Dr. Amy, why don't you come forward and share with us what is going on with Project Beacon? If you'd give us a kind of review of where we've been, how we got you guys to study, and where we're at today.
Very good. Thank you. Good morning, Judge Keough and esteemed commissioners. I come to you today as Vice President of Project Beacon, a nonprofit in our area that is focused on providing adult services for individuals with disabilities and finding residential solutions. I'm also president of Families for Effective Autism Treatment, but most personally, I'm a mother of a 22-year-old son, James, who's profoundly impacted with autism. I want to begin with a sincere thank you to Judge Keough and to Judge Mack for supporting this effort. The county worked collaboratively with us to be able to fund this study. And Project Beacon, in partnership with Tri-County Behavioral Health, launched the Montgomery County Housing Market Analysis in 2024. The study aimed to understand and address the housing needs of adults with autism and other intellectual and developmental disabilities in Montgomery County. Adults with these disabilities in our county are facing an invisible housing crisis. Due to limited housing supports, these individuals often live the majority of their life in their family's home. According to the study, over 10,000 adults with these disabilities live with caregivers who are over the age of 60. According to the study, it's not a future concern, it's a present emergency. When these aging caregivers pass away or are no longer able to provide support for their loved ones, they are at very high risk of homelessness, institutionalization, and incarceration. So let me share with you a few other key findings from the study. In our county of just over 620,000 people, we have 53,000 adults with these disabilities. Only 9% of Texans with disabilities are able to access residential support to live outside their family home. 9%. 78% of these individuals that participated in the study reported persistent loneliness. They had very high rates of suicidal ideation and of suicide attempts. 65% of them fear that they will become homeless. The cost of inaction is steep. The annual cost of placing one individual in a Texas state-supported living center is $1,300 a day for one individual. That's costing our taxpayers $476,000 a year for one person for 1 year. Community-based neuro-inclusive housing solutions are far less expensive and more fiscally beneficial for our taxpayers. Right now, we only have 3 intermediate care facilities in Montgomery County, serving just 18 people. And wait lists, they're not just long, they're decades long. Over 175,000 Texas on the waiver wait list, with 40% of them waiting more than 10 years. My son came up on the HCS wait list last year. He'd been on the wait list for 18 years to receive services. The study recommends a bold but achievable path forward, one that begins right here in Montgomery County. First, secure legislative appropriations for a pilot neuro-inclusive housing community. Prioritize the adults living with aging caregivers in housing and in services funding. Educate and incentivize developers to include neuro-inclusive design when they're planning communities. And above all, create sustainable residential solutions that honor the lives of those who cannot advocate for themselves. With your support, we can turn this crisis into a national model for what can be done when government, nonprofit, and community come together. We're ready to move forward, and Project Beacon stands ready to collaborate. We welcome partnerships with other nonprofit leaders, private sector innovators, and public institutions to develop a sustainable neuro-inclusive housing model right here in Montgomery County. Together, we can lead the state and perhaps the nation in solving one of the most urgent and overlooked crises of our time. I do have copies of the study for each one of you here today, and I'd like to provide those to you.
Would please, yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Ward. I think you're actually in my precinct.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to present these results to you today.
Amy, real quickly, you mentioned the working with the state legislature. Who locally are y'all working with? Have you? I wish Representative Metcalf would have stuck around to hear this, but
I do too.
I know he's busy, and he probably didn't know this was coming.
Yeah.
Who are y'all working with currently?
So we want to be working with Metcalf and also Colcorst. Okay. We also are interested in the Texel Council on Developmental Disabilities. They provide a lot of funding for pilots such as this, where we can demonstrate that we can get very good outcomes at a much lower price than being in the state supported living center, which is ultimately what we need to do. Project Beacon is already doing full-time and part-time day programs. And some of those individuals in our programs were turned away from 3 or 4 others. But with our model, our staffing model, and our infrastructure, those individuals are being very successful. And those are the directions that we need to go going forward.
Yeah. Well, we potentially have a new House of Representative member and a new state senator member that we probably need to get them on this early.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And just one more question.
Of course.
It's my understanding that you were enrolled in Leadership Montgomery County. What class was that?
That would be the best class ever, 2024.
2025, Amy.
Well, 2025. Yeah, 2025, sorry. They initially called us 2024 when we went into the class, but there's no chance anybody's going to beat that. So thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you for your presentation today.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Dr.
Thanks.
Amy, when Kelly originally presented this to us for the study and the execution of what you guys wanted to do, Commissioner Wheeler and I both attended that first evening. Remember that, Commissioner, where we went and we saw what was going on?
It's a great facility.
It was unbelievable,
Yeah,
and you guys executed and did exactly what you said you were going to do. It was so impressive. And so thank you very much for being here today and giving us that update. When I talked to Kelly about this, she was certainly on board and wanting to be involved. So
100%.
our regards to her as well.
I have a question.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
What was the daily rate that you said it cost?
It's reported to be $1,300 a day.
How in the world?
I know. I can promise you, I've got a healthcare background. We can do it for less than that if we put the right community supports in place for these individuals. About a third of adults with these disabilities are in state supported living centers in Texas.
Who pays that money? Is it funded through the
We
state?
do.
We do?
Yes, it comes
we
through
should be
health.
asking questions about that. Why
Yeah.
is it costing that much?
It does come through. Health and Human Services oversee the Medicaid waivers and the services and funding that go to this population. I agree with you 100%. And when I say that we need to develop a new model for the state, we're going to do that in Montgomery County, and it will be a model going forward for the nation potentially. 30 years ago, we fought to get early intervention for individuals with autism, so they would not end up in restrictive environments like that. We're at the same precipice right now with adults. We need to redefine what it looks like to live with these disabilities.
That needs to be looked into. That's a terrible waste of money, in my opinion.
I agree with you. But I do think that we do have path forward, and I think it is going to take both private and public collaboration in order to solve some of those issues.
All right. Anything else?
Thanks for sharing that, Dr. Ward. Appreciate the insight.
Thank you very much. I appreciate being here today.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Let's move on forward to our consent agenda. We have a motion to approve the consent agenda, or are there any modifications we need to include?
We need to defer M.
Oh, that's
M to B
Where's that at, Amy?
on page.
M2B. That's correct.
What page?
Looks like 7.
M2B.
6 of 9. Precinct 2, they
Okay.
consider and approve the first amended between Wood Trace and Montgomery County.
Make a motion with the modification.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Thank you so much. Let's move forward to our open agenda. Item 10 on the total agenda. Our treasurer, Melanie, come forward. Share with us what you have for us today.
Thank you, Commissioner and Judge. I really appreciate the opportunity. We talked about in budget office space for the treasurer's office. I am happy to do whatever y'all want. I've talked with Bobby Powell specifically about the ERP room because he has the GIS guys from Magnolia that need to move and thinks that my current space would work well for him. Moving to the ERP space would need build out, but it would avoid moving currently the payroll department, Bobby's other IT guys, and the county clerk out of my old space. And so that was an option that was presented. Wherever y'all want me to go, I'll go, so long as it's here in the county seat. I don't care. I just would like some different office spaces we discussed during budget. So
I thought we discussed during budget moving you back into your old space and putting payroll wherever,
Bobby?
in your place. And when is,
we just got, there have been a lot of discussions, Commissioner.
Good morning again, Commissioner and Judge. Since the time Melanie moved out of that space, we've not only put payroll in there, but there's several IT employees in there that work directly with payroll, and the county clerk's office has assumed some space in there as well. And so we would uproot a number of employees and different departments in order to put her back in that space, and it's not quite the same space it was when she vacated it.
I didn't realize we'd moved all these people, and Bobby, you seem to be scattered all over.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yes, sir. IT people are scattered throughout the entire county.
I understand that, but I didn't know you were trying to move GIS people and all this other stuff. I didn't know we got people scattered places they don't need to be.
Yes, sir.
Scattered everywhere.
Yes, sir.
How come we're not together? How come we can't find a place for IT? I understand we got people out at everybody's precinct and everybody's, but I don't know why we keep moving people around. Should have been a simple thing to move her back into her spot and payroll into her spot. That should have been the simplest thing we could have done. It should have been the simplest thing we'd done. No money, just move people, and that would have been it. We got to quit moving people around.
Difficulty is, Commissioner, if I may, when we made the decision to move, we assumed that Melanie was going to go into a particular spot per our previous commissioner. And meanwhile, we had empty spaces that we could use. And so I think what has kind of evolved into we use some of those spaces for other items. The presentation that you're giving to us is that we have an actual place here in the building
It's empty.
that's empty that we can move you guys to without disrupting a number of departments, I think is what you're saying, correct?
Correct. Yes. And to be fair to Bobby and others, the Commissioner's Court has approved these moves for these departments to assume that space.
I understand it. Don't do that.
I mean, I
Don't
just want
do
to point
that.
that out. But the ERP space that's currently there is going to have to be built out at some point in time. The county is growing. It's going to have to assume that space.
So we're going to give the whole ERP space to the
what I would
treasurer's
propose
office.
to the commissioners is because we don't know how much quite it's going to cost to build that out, authorize us to look at it.
Yeah.
Myself and Melanie and Rob from building maintenance will go look at the space. We'll draw out what she needs. We'll have the vendor come in and look at the.
I'm going to pull out my new guy card.
Yes, sir.
What is ERP space?
It's the Enterprise Resource Office where we trained all of our employees to use the ERP system in the county.
It's on the third floor.
It's on the third floor
next
near
to
the county attorney's
attorney's office. Right now, it would need sprinklers and We didn't build it out when we built out the county attorney's
There
office.
is
sprinklers in it. They're not turned
Is this
down.
what's listed
to
as
turn 'em
having
down and
the $100,000
Move them.
Correct.
price tag associated with it?
It's potentially going to cost that, if not more.
How much?
More than 100,000. And the reason for that is the fire suppression system in that room is not designed to be habited. So the sprinkler system's facing to the ceiling. It's not facing down because there's no false roof yet in that room.
There's no ceiling
So
tiles
it's
in
not
that
built out.
space.
So when we build that out and drop the ceiling, we have to drop the sprinklers. That's an expensive undertaking. It has to be done at some point in time when we utilize that space permanently. So at this point, it's a decision of the court to give us the permission to go forth, come back next court with the cost estimate and what it would take and the time frame, and then you guys make a decision at that point.
Rob, could you come up, please?
Yeah. Tell me this is a government operation without telling me it's a government operation.
Rob, can I add you to this little steering committee that we have? Could you find us a no-cost solution to move the treasurer back into a space, please?
A no cost?
The solution was to move it back.
Have any? I'm sorry, I'm getting a lot of laughs. Has anybody up here worked with her?
Listen, we weren't laughing at you.
No. We're wondering about the steering committee. Do we have a steering committee on this?
We got something. You can call it whatever you want, but it's $100,000 what it sounds like, and she needs a spot. So
I guarantee it's over 100. There's
Direct-
no way you can finish that place up for 100.
I think the move here, Rob. Do you have any suggestions?
I thought the suggestion was what Charlie had mentioned was that we would move her from there back into where she originally was
That's
at.
off the table.
And then,
Well, is it? Because
Why is it
well, yeah, about to say.
off
So
the
hold on.
table?
Let's think about this. So if we move the
ahead.
treasurer back to her old space, we move payroll to her current space. Then we just need to find homes for IT and county
many people is that?
county clerk. How many people are we talking about?
We got 4 people in the IT group. I believe there's 3 in the county clerk. 2. So 4 people in IT.
You've got space for your 2?
That spot will need to be
Okay,
built
so
out
we
where
just
we're
fixed 2 of them.
Say that again. What'd you say?
If we find an alternative space for the county clerks to move back to, that space is going to need to be built out.
Melanie, I agree, Melanie. You should have never been put where you're at. That's never been enough room.
Thank you.
But I still have a hard time figuring out why we can't just flip-flop y'all again and let's move on. Bobby, you're going to have to find some place for your 4 guys.
Bobby, haven't you been in that room before where there's
Commissioner
no ceiling?
Riley, would you like to be?
I worked there for 5
Would you
years.
be the point of contact for this?
So there's anybody in
So
there
we don't
now?
got to make a decision here.
We've got
Hang
it's
on.
a training room, and then we've got one employee from the toll road accounting group that's over there.
Is there room for you to move back into that spot now? Do
There's
that.
one office. It's a big empty room. I
I've
mean,
been
it's
in
an
there
open
before.
space.
I know it.
If the IT guys move back in there, they're going to have to put some walls up.
Or cubicles.
Well,
whatever,
you can build
right?
those cubicles. That's a whole lot cheaper than 100,000.
I want to point out, if we're going to have
Sprinklers still gotta be fixed.
One at a time, please. Please, whoa.
And that's expensive.
Ridiculous. One
Bobby.
at a time.
Whoa. So we can hear the conversation one at a time, please. Rob.
the sprinkler system, they're all upward, and they leave them that way until you decide where you want to put the walls at, and then they have to bring them down and reposition them where they need to go. So we've always left it, because it's always been a temporary area, left them in the up position. They will work in the up position, but when you put a ceiling in there and start putting walls up, you've got to turn them down.
And I
that's where the
guarantee
cost
you-
factor, if you left it just one big room and put it a ceiling like this, you wouldn't have to, really, the cost factor would be
I guarantee you, if we turn this into whatever, and we turn those sprinkler heads down, within 2 years, we'll be taking those sprinkler heads, moving around, moving walls, because we don't really know what we're going to do here.
Yes, sir, I agree.
The simplest thing to do, put her back where she was and put payroll, just flip-flop them. And Bobby, you're going to have to find some place for you guys.
Roger that.
Bobby in that room on 242?
No.
I want to point one thing
That
out
whole
before you guys
building's
make a
full.
decision. The
I think it is.
IT folks that's currently
I don't
housed
think it
in the
is.
payroll area work directly with payroll. Separating them is going to complicate the payroll process.
Okay.
And I just want to give you full information before you guys make a decision.
It's-
That's why those
Okay.
guys are housed there with us.
Yeah, I do want to say I don't think what Jason's bringing up is as big a deal as it was in the beginning. Right now they work with each other, but they're not in each other's offices all the time. So in the beginning, when that first occurred, they needed the support.
I'd just say figure it out, and then when you
And
we
bring
come
it
back
to
to
us.
court,
And, yeah.
Okay.
Y'all are all.
I want to be.
This is a
I
good
want to be
committee
in
right
that.
here.
Commission the committee and let us come back.
I want to be in that. I want to look at the room. I want to look at Melody's office. I want to look at Phyllis's office because we shouldn't even be in this spot. We shouldn't even be talking about this. Not right now. But we are.
I'm good with whatever.
It's kind of like decisions have consequences, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
here we are, but we're going to fix it. Thank you, Melanie. I appreciate you bringing that forward. Okay, are we clear on that so we know what's going on?
I don't know.
Commissioner,
I don't know if we're clear or not.
He's going to take charge of that deal with this group as
Yes.
help. All right. Thank you. Move on. Susie, elections.
Move.
Second. All in favor?
Do we need to make a motion for 10A to defer?
It
It says take action, so I'll move to defer 10A.
Well, we can do that. I mean, sure. Is that a motion?
Yep.
Have a motion, second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Susie? We have a motion, and we already have a second. Any discussion?
Good job, Susie. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Appreciate it. All right, purchasing. Kelly?
Didn't vote. Didn't vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Good morning. How's everybody? All right, first thing we have on there is to approve granting a discretionary exemption. We got dark fiber to be obtained from only one source. That's number one. Do you want me to do the second one too? Or you want to?
Sure, yeah, do
Okay.
both of them.
The second one is records management and preservation services through the Tex Mass interlocal agreement.
I move on 1 and 2. A 1 and 2.
I'll second.
We have a motion, a second, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
B, consider and approve change order number 2 to Crown Eagle for emergency material storage building for additional site grading and additional 7 calendar days in the amount of $47,125 for Commissioner 4.
Move.
Second.
Hey, real quick, before we go, take that a roll call. We had some soil issues we're getting worked out. That's why that pushed out. But P-Gal is who we're using on that. Are any of y'all using P-Gal on any of your projects?
I am.
How's that going?
I don't want to talk about that right now.
Well, that's about where
It's
I'm.
not going very well, I promise you.
That's where I'm at on it. So
we've had to go out there and do some things. We just finally did it ourselves, and it's not pretty.
So PGAL was involved in the Kevin Brady Community Center and Library, and they did a great job with that. So, for what it's worth.
Glad they did, because hey, I'm not represented very well on this.
So is that part of the discussion here, Commissioner, on item B?
It was part of the discussion, but I've moved and got a second, and I'm ready to
All right.
have y'all vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item C.
All right, item C, we have 4 projects to award. Sorters Road Segment 2 for Precinct 4. That will be to Texas Materials Group in the amount of $15,604,855.26. That's a road bond project?
Can we move on OC on all 4 of them?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Can we do that?
Absolutely.
We can.
I'll move on 1 and 2.
I'll make that motion.
Oh, did you make the motion? Go ahead.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Appreciate that. Item D.
Take all appropriate action to consider and approve the proposal from qualified provider for Government Code 2254 engineering services with Teague Now and Perkins Incorporated for Cute Cemetery Road in the amount of $859,248.
Move on that. Is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
Okay.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. At this time, the court will recess for executive session pursuant to one or more of the following provisions of the Texas Government Code, to wit, Chapter 551, Subchapter D, Articles 551.071. Thank you, and we're going to recess and go to that executive session.
Bobby.
Be taken. So, is there a motion at this point to adjourn? Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Commissioner Riley, Toll Road.
Okay, we're going to call a meeting of the Montgomery County Toll Road Authority to order. Let the record show that all the directors are here. Are there any citizens that would like to speak on anything on the toll road agenda today? Don't see anybody. 4A, B, and C, if I could get a motion on all 3 of those.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank y'all very much for that. Thank y'all.